Well, we're talking with animal trainer Kim Sykes of K9 Manners and More about some behavior problems or issues you may have been struggling with your dog. Thanks for joining us as always.
Thank you.
Okay, so we've got a few questions for you that people may have. The first one, Debbie asked, my 2.5-year-old Chihuahua won't let anyone but me pet him. He had a rough life before I adopted him a year ago. What can I do? He snarls at people when they want to pet him. What do you have to say about that?
Right, and that's a hard one because even like Griffin is what we call a pandemic puppy, meaning he was, he was a baby when pandemic hit, and he didn't have as much socialization as normally we take our dogs out. And being even a smaller dog like a Chihuahua, oftentimes if we can elevate them, ask them if they want to come up to a position like on the side of a sofa or side of a chair, and often if we can offer them some treats and allow them to retreat if they decide that they are a little bit scared, that will help reduce their anxiety and reduce that growl. So
do you feel like more interaction with people, does that help the situation where the pet gets more comfortable perhaps?
That would be what we call flooding, where you're making the dog be petted, like him. I'm petting him, I'm doing this. But when we ask the dog to consent to that, then what we're doing is we're allowing them to make that choice to either move away or come back. What we don't want to do is force them into a bite. When we have the dog and we're forcing them, their growl is our early warning system. That's what we call the tornado watch. When we see the teeth, we've gone up to a warning. That's when the tornado is going to hit. And then when we get all the way to the bite, the tornado has hit. And this is the severity of that, just like a tornado.
Right. You have to monitor and watch.
You do. So the growl is a warning. You have to heed that warning.
Okay. Next question. Alex says, we're moving and my dog gets very anxious with change, including urinating on the floor. How can we help calm her down?
So that is a really hard one too. When you move locations, or even if you're just traveling and going to another location for a short time, that can be a time when it is. So bring something from home that's more familiar. If a dog is crate trained, that's a wonderful time to go back and revisit that before the move and get them used to that so that you can limit their access, and then treat them like a puppy. Take them out every 30 minutes so that they're going to be a little bit more likely to not have an accident in the home. And then you can also, make sure if they're meeting new people, do that outside so that if they are submissively urinating, that's going to be easier to clean up than if it's in the house.
Because they may be uncomfortable in those new surroundings.
Right, and there's some wonderful products out there now. There's some aromatherapies. One of them is called Adaptil, and it reminds them of their mother. It's kind of like, the smell of cookies or, Joe's barbecue. It smells good, so we're going to feel good, and that's what we want them. So sometimes if you can take that and put that in the area that comes in either a spray or a diffuser you plug into the wall.
Perfect. Well, Kim Griffin, thanks for joining us as always. Now, if you have a question for her about training your dog, all you have to do is send an email at noon@griffin.news. We'll be right back after this.